Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Media Arts Center San Diego's live stream for our advanced workshops. I'm so excited to be here with you today. My name is Natalia Rogers, and I am educator and coordinator here at the Media Arts Center San Diego. And I have two wonderful guests today, two students that have been doing the advanced Premiere workshop with a special focus on audio editing. So this week, we focused on sound and how to use sound, how to modulate sound, and how to really fine-tune the sound when you're editing and also when you're preparing to edit in advance. So I'll tell you a little bit about what we did for the class and the kind of guests that came in to help teach the class, because we had a series of really great guests that came and shared with us their expertise and their knowledge. We had Ryan Kuratomi was our first guest, and Ryan is the producer for Media Arts Center San Diego's Video Production Services Department. And Ryan has 10 years of experience of working and producing short documentary films, narrative films, and kind of informational films. And he shared, some of the skills that he has acquired throughout his career with these young producers. Another guest that we had was Cy Kuchenbacher, who is a professor at San Diego City College. And his expertise and numerous years of being not only a professional film producer and creator in the field, but also teaching students at San Diego City College for many, many years. He was also able to share some really great technical tips and tricks of how he edits sound with these young men. And finally, we had Carlos Solorio, who was generous enough to also offer some of his time to help us work with audio. And Carlos has extensive experience. I couldn't even begin. I mean, he's been with NBC, Universal, and he was actually the first Teen Producers Project instructor many years ago when this program got started. So he was able to share his breadth of experience with these young producers and to offer some career advice, and also to give us some sense of the aesthetic of working with sound editing. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our first producer, and his name is Benicio. So let me get him on here to allow him to introduce himself. Welcome, Benicio.
Hi.
Hey. So about you, introduce yourself and talk a little bit about what you did today, this week.
Well, my name's Benicio. I've been to the Media Arts Center for about 5 years, and my movie/interview is about how quarantine has affected people.
Awesome. So I see that we already have a great little clip of what you were working on. So let's watch that. And then I invite our audience to type in questions on the stream and let us know what you'd like Benicio to talk about. So here is a clip of what he did.
What books have you been reading in quarantine?
I have been continuing to try to finish Alexander Hamilton, and I think that's it. So I've been doing only a little bit of reading.
What books have you been reading in quarantine?
I have been reading a bunch of big name books. I think that's it. Really, I haven't been reading that much.
What TV shows have you been watching in quarantine?
I've been watching a show called Star Wars Rebels from the series of Star Wars, and Star Wars Clone Wars from the series of Star Wars, and a show called Mr. Buzzers.
Good. So that was just a little excerpt of what you were working on. I know your interviews were a little bit longer than that. But tell us about who's in your video.
Well, I just interviewed all my family because by the time I actually started to record, it was pretty late at night. So I only could get what I got, and what I got was just my family, my dad, my brother, my mom, and me. But only my dad and my brother are in the trailer.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. So I just want to invite anybody who's watching to send in your questions by typing them in on Facebook or on YouTube, and we will see them. So back to you, Benicio. So how was this class different than, because you've been participating in our youth media and tech camps and more recently in our boot camps for a few years now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell us how this class was different from any of that.
Well, it was a lot more focused on audio more than the video. And like I said, and like last time, what I said on the other, because I went to last week at the boot camp, what I said was that it was a lot different because we were all at home. And yeah, for this, it was also different because we were at home. But when it comes to audio, it wasn't that hard. But it was pretty good.
Nice. So there's a question coming in from Aleyda. She wants to know what was the most challenging part of audio editing.
Just getting used to it. I wasn't that used to audio editing. I didn't know that much about it, but I eventually got the hang of it, and I learned new things like using the pen tool to create smoother transitions in audio. And yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of different detailed things that we learned. There's another question that has come in as well. That is a question about what new tricks you learned in Adobe Premiere and any suggestions that you have for young filmmakers when they are editing their videos.
Well, to start off with the new tricks, I already mentioned the pen tool. I also learned how to reduce background vibration and reverb.
Yeah.
And I think there was another. It was the keyframes. I didn't really get to use keyframes in audio that much before, but the pen tool also kind of relates to the keyframes, but it was a pretty useful tool. And as for suggestions,
yeah,
go to this camp.
Yeah,
it's a good suggestion.
Yeah, it is, because it's kind of hard to talk about these things. Like, you kind of have to do them.
Yeah.
So it's easier if you learn by doing, for sure. Cool. Well, is there anything else you want to add?
No, I think that's it.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Benicio. I really appreciate your presence and your dedication, and a good job on your film and your interviews. All right. So next I'm going to introduce Joaquin. And Joaquin, he actually has a lot of experience with audio, but not with video. So let me bring him on stage so he can introduce himself. Hey,
Hello,
Joaquin.
my name is Joaquin, and my name is Joaquin Calleros, and I like to produce music and DJ. I use Ableton Live and Serato DJ.
Yes, and it's so great to meet you and to be working with you. Tell us a little bit about how you came to learn about this class.
I don't know. My parents just told me about it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's watch your film, and then we can talk a little bit more about it. How's that sound?
Yep.
All right.
How do you help people with your job?
At my work, we help people quit smoking, and there are several ways that we can go about helping them. The main one is by helping them come up with a plan to quit smoking. But even before that, they need to have a good reason to quit smoking. For example, saving money for their health, right? So that's something they need to have ahead of time. The second step is actually creating a plan to quit smoking. So how to cope with difficult situations such as stress, driving, and not smoking when they're going through those situations. And then the last step is to actually help them commit to set up a quit date. And the quit date is the day when they decided that they are not going to be smoking anymore. Even if they only make it for a few hours, actually trying is really what matters the most.
All right. Excellent work there, Joaquin. So tell us a little bit about who you interviewed in your video.
Well, that was my dad, Jesus Calleros, and he works for Smokers Helpline. He helps people quit smoking.
Yes, and I know in the it's really good information. Absolutely, and I think that I know you had your mom in your original video, but we need to show like a shorter version of it here. We'll upload the full videos on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/MACSD, so everybody can see those. But there are some questions coming in. So let's look at a question. How did you pick the subject matter?
Well, I was just assigned to pick any subject, so I did what I thought was best and provided the most information, the most helpful information. And also my parents' jobs are very important in their lives as well as mine. So that's why I picked the subject.
That's wonderful. And, I will add that I really like the music that you picked to go with their interviews. Yeah. And we have another comment. Way to go, parents. Thanks for your support of the Media Arts Center San Diego's youth filmmaking classes, because without parents, I don't know, they're just such a huge part of our family. So thank you for supporting these young people in their development and in their growth. We do have another question that has come in. This is a good question. Is it easier to use Adobe Premiere or Final Cut Pro?
It's definitely easier to use Final Cut Pro.
So why do you say that though?
Well, because there are a lot of Final Cut Pro is more similar to other basic editing softwares like iMovie. It's more similar. It's similar to iMovie, and it's also simpler. But the upside of Adobe Premiere is that you get a lot more options. It's less limited.
Yeah, it's definitely different. We did actually work a little bit on one of those limitations in the workshop, because there are some differences between the two pieces of software. Well, what new things did you learn?
Well, I learned how to get clean audio, how to use a limiter, and also used an EQ, which cut out the low end. Also, I just really learned the basics of Premiere Pro, because before I took this class, I hardly used Premiere Pro, and I didn't know how to use it.
Yeah, that's perfectly logical. That's awesome. So there's a new question that's come in. And the question is, what new video projects are you working on these days, or what's next for you? Maybe you have an event that you have in mind. What are you doing?
Well, I haven't worked on any video projects in a while because I'm pursuing music, and the film projects that I'd work on would be a potential, like, a music video in the future when that happens, but I'm really just focused on music.
Yeah, but I like how you actually, the reasoning that you explained to me earlier was that you were actually trying to incorporate some video into your music work, right?
Yes, that would be using Adobe After Effects or Blender or anything like that, like video loops for DJs, because that's what they use.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a very smart strategy for you,
Yeah.
especially as a music producer. Very cool. So great job. There's some really good comments on the stream saying great job, everyone, and congratulations. So really appreciate those comments coming in. Thank you so much. So I'm going to bring Benicio back in. Hey, Benicio.
Hi.
Hey, there were a couple of questions that I think maybe were meant for you, but they came in a little bit later because we were moving through this presentation, and I wanted to see if we could bring those questions back in. Oh, I think they were comments, maybe not questions. Let's see what they were. Yeah, so it was really just congratulating you for doing such a great job and for all the work that you guys did, because it really shows through. So I just wanted to thank you guys for being a part of this workshop and for putting the time to sharpen your skills as video producers, because this is a huge, very important skill for everyone, especially right now that we're in a pandemic. Like, everybody needs video, and you guys have these great skills. So thank you. That's it for today. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
It's great having you. All right, well, that concludes our presentation for today. Thanks, everyone, for joining us in this live stream, and really appreciate your support and your presence and for making us part of your life. Please make sure to check out our future advanced workshops. We have some additional workshops coming in that are focused on, we're going to be working on color correction coming up next, and we're going to be working on online portfolios, and they're going to be happening in about every other week. So not next week, but the following week, and then we skip a week and then they come back. So please make sure to check our website, digitaljim.org, and click on the workshops tab, and then you'll see those different workshops pop up once you click on the workshop tab. So thanks, everyone, for joining us, and hope to see you again soon here on the stream for the Media Arts Center San Diego. Have a great day.